Today, we're exposing 3 massive trap games for Week 2. Stay tuned to find out. As the dust settles on Week 1, the adrenaline is still pumping. It's time to dial the fuck in for Week 2. Those nail biters, the upsets, I'm looking at you Ravens, the overreactions, the absolute mayhem and chaos have just gotten into full swing. Favorites crushed it in Week 1, winning 13 of 16 games. That's an 81% clip, which is much hotter than the historical trend. To make a profit on an underdog moneyline, betting at plus 110 odds, you only need to hit right around 45%. Imagine if you're betting at plus 150, that goes to 40%. Plus 200, that's 33% to stay even. So only a third of the time you take an underdog, you really need to win because they're getting high plus odds, which is why realistically only one of the 3 bets I'm going to give you this week needs to hit, even though I think all 3 will hit. And Week 2 is screaming regression. Trap game number 1, Rams minus 5.5 versus Titans. Why people will bet Los Angeles. The Rams enter Week 2 with a gritty 14-9 win over the Texans in Week 1, holding CJ Stroud, the young star, to just 188 pass yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception on 19 of 27 attempts. Proof their defense under Chris Shula is for real after ranking 16th in points allowed last year at 22.7 per game. They showed that they could even top this. Bettors love this narrative. Matthew Stafford bounced back from a solid but injury-riddled 2024, where he threw 3,700 yards, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions with around a 66% completion percentage in 15 games. With a steady Week 1 outing, going 21 for 29 for about 250 yards and a touchdown, they're on the road as 5.5 favorites against a Titans team that just lost embarrassingly 20-12 versus Denver. The Rams' 2024 offense averaged 21.9 points per game, which was 19th in the NFL. The public will see this game as an easy cover. Stafford, he's ready to go against a rookie quarterback and not so good defense. He's going to carve that guy up. Rams are going to roll by plus 10. This will be easy. LA had a better record last year at 10-7, and the assumption that their Week 1 defense masterclass will travel and laying 5.5 points feels like free money in this sense. But here's why it's a trap. You're overlooking the Titans. They're tougher than their 0-1 record suggests, especially at home in a revenge spot after a resilient road loss. Cam Ward, the number 1 pick, didn't dazzle on his debut, yes, 12 for 28 for about 115 yards, no touchdowns, no receptions, but he was sacked 6 times. Will this happen again? I don't think so. Even with the sacks, he showed poise, no interceptions, and his post-game reflection screamed instant maturity as a rookie, which I truly believed in. He said, "I learned to get the ball out quicker, and that's on me, and I have to do better." Ward was the first tight on the field for warmups and the last to leave. He's fired up for his first NFL home debut, and he will not disappoint. He will shake off that rust from Week 1, just like any other vets like Lamar Jackson haven't even mastered, and the Titans defense will bounce back, even though they only gave up 20 points. They did force 3 turnovers, which winning the turnover battle will win you games. In 2024, Tennessee did allow 27.1 points per game, which was one of the worst in the league, and their red zone defense was absolutely subpar, ranking around 20th in the NFL, but they showed a bounce back in Week 1 against a second-year supposed star in Bo Nix. Meanwhile, the Rams offense sputtered at home last week, putting up a measly 14 points against an ailing Texans team who was going downwards. With Stafford under constant pressure, he was sacked 3 times and now potentially missing key offensive line pieces, including guard Kevin Dotson, who is questionable with a knee tweak, and center Steve Avila, who's out with an ankle, plus potentially tackle Alaric Jackson with a hamstring issue. The Rams offense may not even produce 14 points, not to mention last week Tennessee Titans had actually a couple of bright spots. Their corners covered exceptionally, and they're looking to keep this going, have Stafford hold the ball, and rack up even more sacks. They pressured Bo Nix on 40% of dropbacks, and we'll see how Stafford can handle that on the road in a rowdy home stadium. And Ward has elite dual threat mobility. He ran a 4.4 40-yard dash, and his playmaking echoes his college days, so expect him to extend plays in front of a hyped crowd. And lastly, why avoid betting LA? They barely even won by 5 points in Week 1. The Rams offense ranked 20th in EPA per play last year and looked anemic at home. Now on the road, with offensive line injuries, they're vulnerable to a Titans defense that travels well and a rookie quarterback motivated for his first W. Final prediction, Titans 24, Rams 17. Just a quick pause. If you're enjoying the video and enjoyed my first underdog matchup, please take 1 second to quickly subscribe, like, and potentially say a comment about your underdog matchup for the week. And now back to the video. Trap game 2, Jaguars at Bengals, with the Bengals being home favorites at minus 3.5. Why will people bet Cincinnati? The Bengals kicked off 2025 with a 17 16 squeaker of a win over a dysfunctional Brown squad using 4 QBs, 5 QBs, 6, I don't know. In week 1, Joe Burrow went 14 of 23, passing for 113 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions, scraping by without too much Joe Burrow flair. But bettors buy the home hype. Burrow's 2024 stats kind of speak for themselves. Around 4,900 yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and an amazing completion percentage. Screams bounce back after a narrow win, and Cincy's 2024 scoring offense ranked about 6th in the league at 27.8 points per game. Complete juggernaut. With Jamar Chase hauling in only 2 catches for 26 measly yards, getting paid $40 million to do this, by the way, the public sees laying minus 3.5 as a complete steal against a Jaguars team that beat a pretty bad Panthers team 26-10. Trevor Lawrence was efficient, but pretty unspectacular, going 19 for 31 for $180 and a touchdown and an interception with a 61% completion percentage. And Jacksonville's record in 2024 sucked. Why not expect Burrow to have a huge bounce back game, then win by 20 at home, and this just be a nice, comfortable, easy bet? That's what Vegas wants you to think. Come on, gotta think smarter. Why this game is a trap. The Bengals' slow starts are legendary. They've opened 0-2 or worse in 3 of the last 5 seasons, and their week 1 win exposed cracks. Burrow was sacked 3 times, the O-line ranked 24th in pass block win rate in 2024 and didn't really improve much last week. Cincy's same old issues still persist. They're turnover prone early, Burrow's 2024 interception rate spiked in September, and a defense that ranked 26th in points allowed at 24.7 per game last year is vulnerable to a balanced passing attack, which I think the Jaguars can actually get done this week. Now, their defense suffocated week 1's foe, allowing just 12 points and forcing 3 turnovers. This is a great metric to start the season. Again, as I said in the last pick, if you get turnovers, you win ball games. In 2024, Jackson's defense didn't actually rank too bad, and their secondary is ready. Your boy Travis Hunter is getting in there. They're doing anything they can to keep the game close, and they're going to pull out a win or keep it down to a 1-point game. Not to mention, the Jaguars have a real running attack. Travis Etienne gained 163 yards on the ground on only 16 carries last week, which is a really good sign for keeping the offense balanced and Burrow off the field. All right, why avoid betting Cincinnati? Laying minus 3.5 is a classic trap bait for Burrow believers, and the Bengals notoriously need about 2 to 3 weeks to gel and actually get some steam rolling. Their defense can't consistently put pressure, and the Jaguars plus 3.5 thrives on their grit. They were 10-7 last year against the spread, which doesn't mean they won all those games. They just beat the spread in those games, which is good. And the public is going to chase here. Don't chase with them. Final score prediction, Bengals 21, Jaguars 20. Trap game number 3, Bills minus 6.5 at the Jets. Why people will bet Buffalo. The Bills stole headlines with a wild 41-40 comeback win over the Ravens in week 1. Josh Allen torched them for 33 for 46, 394 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, plus 30 yards on the ground, and 2 scores. Buffalo's 2024 offense was explosive to say the least. 30.9 points per game, which was second in the NFL. And Allen's MVP caliber year, 3,700 pass yards, 500 plus rush yards, 41 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 72% completion percentage, has bettors salivating at laying minus 6.5 on the road against a Jets team that blew a lead in week 1. The public will default to the Allen MVP chance. Why is it a trap game? Well, don't trust that week 1 win. It was all smoke and mirrors. Allen feasted on a Ravens secondary, gassed in the second half. They allowed 250 passing yards and 50 rushing yards to Buffalo in the second half. This is thanks to a still inexperienced defensive coordinator and about 0 pass rush for the Ravens. Allen was sacked once. And if they can get any pressure on Allen this week, he will not be nearly as good. Not to mention, Buffalo's defense is average, middle of the pack in points allowed at around 21 per game last year, and they got bailed out by Derrick Henry's fumble and Baltimore's epic choking ability, which now, the Bills face a letdown spot after emotional highs, while the Jets defense wasn't as bad as the score of week 1 dictates. They limited Pittsburgh to only 53 rushing yards on the ground, which is pretty amazing, and they did give up 6 returns for 165 yards, which is not helping at all. They just need to tweak a couple of things on special teams, and they should be right back in it. Not to mention, they only allowed 244 passing yards, which was overinflated by 4 touchdown throws by the not-so-great Rodgers. I still don't believe in him. Fields did show promise. He was sacked once. He was efficient underneath, and they still have that secondary, strong defensive front, and lockdown corner of Sauce Gardner, who will be all over Buffalo's receivers in this game. Not to mention, division rivalry games are always like a war, and plus 6.5 is just too much against the Jets squad fixing mental errors week by week and being hungry and ready at home. So, just to quickly lay it out, I would avoid betting Buffalo because laying 6.5 pays the Allen is my hero tax after a week 1 fluke win where the Bills leaked out about 240 rush yards. And the Jets, you know who's going to be loving this? Breece Hall. And he will feast. The Jets can win this game, let alone cover. Expect a gritty, middle-level scoring type of game. Final prediction, Jets 27, Bills 20. Well, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Week 2 traps are Rams minus 5.5, Bengals minus 3.5, and Bills minus 6.5. If you take any of those 3 teams, you didn't listen to anything I said in the video. And please, one last thing, comment down below which Week 2 game is your trap.